Let's go to Max B. They calling him out of his name again. Again, people. I thought we was done. New paperwork reveals Max B snitched on his brother. Max B told the police that his brother shot and killed a man in order to get his sentence reduced. All right. Poetic Flacco isn't the most credible person in the world. I'm not saying that at all. He's juiced up a lot of information and news and whatever, but is moving around big platforms or bigger platforms right now. And he's putting up alleged paperwork. Is this real? Don't know. Got Wingate, Dyer at the top, whatever that is. I told you I like to see docket entries and dates and all the type of stuff that I see on consistent paperwork at the top. That doesn't mean that I know that all courts and stenographers or typed out motions and whatnot appear the same. State to state, court to court, who knows? We focus more so on federal cases via PACER. So I don't know. But question. All right. So when you and Mr. Leadham conspired that Mr. Leadham would go to New Jersey to try to steal money from these men, you had that in your head that one or both of these guys might have a gun. Is that correct? Answer, yes. Is he talking to Pooh Sims allegedly? Or is he talking to Max B allegedly here? When you and Mr. Lee conspired. So yeah, he's talking to Max. Okay, allegedly here. I was going to say Max wasn't in the hotel, but the conspiring of it. Okay, yes. And was there a fact conversation between yourself and your brother about your brother also bringing with him a gun in the event of one or both of these intended victims had guns themselves? Did you in fact talk about that? Answer, yes. Question. All right. And was it your understanding that Kelvin was going to have a gun with him when we went over to New Jersey along with Gina Conway, that's his ex-girlfriend, right? The one that just came home recently, to try to steal these men's money? Answer, yes. Question. Now, you also understood, you have explained to me that although there was no plan to shoot either of these men, that if there was a confrontation between armed people, you knew your brother would use that gun if he had to. Is that correct? Yes, that's horrible. So the first one, where he's talking about your brother having a gun or going with a gun knowingly because you would assume that the people in the hotel that you're going to rob might have guns, right? That's bad as per you guys' street code, right? That last paragraph, if this was true, is horrible. Let's be real. If that was true, that's horrible, because what that does is that puts premeditation in play. This whole thing puts premeditated in play. Pretty much, if you wanted me to put it in layman's terms, is bringing a gun to a gunfight purposefully. Duh. That's premeditated. You know, your brother, yes. Like real street guys that abide by, we ain't talking to these, we ain't helping them, we ain't giving them, we ain't talking about nobody other than ourselves. Are really the shitty thing about being in this situation. If you was a whole gangster, you supposed to, when they ask you the question about your brother, you're supposed to say, my brother? What brother? Oh, that brother, the one that came out my mother's him? Nah, he ain't no gun. Nah, there wasn't no gun. As a matter of fact, he didn't even go. What are you talking about? Hold on. Where am I right now? Hold on, my mind hurts. I need something to eat. You see what I'm saying, though? How do y'all play it? Y'all gonna keep pushing the goalposts all over the place? Because if you're the brother and you read this paperwork, how would you feel? Everybody in the chat, you would be like, God damn. Both of these men, they probably get killed. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, it got worse. Oh my God. Oh my God. And as it turned out, your brother did, in fact, in the course of trying to steal money from David Taylor, use the gun against him. Is that correct? Yes. What supposed to be? I don't know. I wasn't there. Yes, allegedly is being said here. Okay. He shot and he killed him. Is that correct? Yeah. You wasn't even there and you answering yes. And that's your, whatever those dashes mean, that's your understanding of the case. that Mr. Taylor died as the result of a gunshot wound and that it was you, weren't there personally, you didn't witness it personally, but do you understand that that was the state's case against your brother, that your brother was the person who pulled the trigger? Is that correct? Yes. This better be fake. This better be fake for Max B's reputation and his career. It better be fake. All right, this one right here. See, I ain't gonna lie. Seeing things posted up, the real Pooh Sims. Seeing things, Pooh Sims is co-defendant, the guy that shot the man in the hotel, and he's serving his time still for the murder. What, has he got life? He comes off a little bit like, I don't know, because when he dropped something the first time, it was just like, what was that? Like Thanksgiving? It was bullshit that he put out, you know? And he's been interacting with bloggers and podcasters, I think, for years. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds. I think he reached out to Doggy Diamonds like maybe years ago. You know, I feel like you got to take this guy, Pooh Sims, with a grain of salt. Not sure if he's hating or if he's like bitter that Max is home. I don't know. But I'm going to say, just like the last joint that we read, if it's real paperwork, okay? Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, all right. 2, Lieutenant Carmen Martino from Detective Mark Bendul, March 5th, 2007. Jesus Christ, 2007, people. That's almost 20 years ago. You think I'm saying that because I'm saying, damn, it's old news? No, that's not what I'm saying. If you did it and it popped up on you, on your ass, you deserve it. I'm saying, wow, 2007, because it's so crazy how muff go out into the world, move around, act tough, act gangster, talk shit, act street, act like they're holding down street code. 20 years later, some paperwork or some skeleton in your closet can come up. And you were acting gangster the whole time. You was acting anti-snitch the whole time, and there's paperwork on you. You didn't think that shit was going to come to light, did you? Jesus. All right. Homicide investigation of David Taylor, Sharon Barton, a.k.a. Sharon Wingate. Is that Sharon or Sharon? Okay. Date of birth. Oh, Jesus. There's social security numbers in it. Let me scroll past. On Tuesday, September 26, 2006, Lieutenant Carmen Martino directed Sergeant Thomas, whoever that is, last name, of the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, Major Crime Squad, and me to locate and interview Sharon Barton of 740 East. They got an address. This is the girlfriend that just came home, right? Is that who this is? At approximately 1:30 p.m., Sergeant whatever, and I responded to same address, Bronx, New York. I knocked on the door. It was answered by a black female. I identified myself to her and told her that I would like to speak to her regarding Charlie Wingate, which is Max B. At that time, she informed me that she was Charlie Wingate's mother, Sharon Barton, and invited us into the living room of her apartment. Come on, mom. Mom is a civilian, but mom was somebody. But if you in the streets, you better tell mom the rules, because you might be tied to that address shit and whatnot, man. You tell mom, look, if anybody knock on the door, if you for some reason you don't look out the window or use the peephole and identify, oh, I ain't open the door for these guys. Who's these 2 husky white guys? Even if they're in plain clothes, and that look like detectives or some shit to me. Even if you do open the door, invite them in for what? Invite them in for what? No warrant? I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta get back. I got some food on the oven. Close the door. You know what I'm saying? If they start pulling that foot in the door, kicking the door, barge or whatever, lawsuit, sue the city. All right, no warrant. Anyway, during the interview, they calling it an interview. See what I'm saying? During the interview, Miss Barton informed me that Charlie Wingate, Max B, was one of her 3 children, Michael Wingate, Charlie Wingate, and Sade Wingate. She had Michael with her ex-husband, Wingate, blah, 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 blah. Although Charlie's biological father was Charlie Hudson, she gave Charlie the last name of Wingate. Okay, yeah. And Barton apartment, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Miss Barton informed me of a telephone conversation she had with Charlie's girlfriend, China, on Sunday night, September 24, 2006. During the telephone conversation, she was told by China that earlier that weekend, Charlie Wingate brought his friend Sims, that's the guy that's in jail right now, serving, I think, life, to their apartment. Okay, Charlie told China that Sims had to stay at the apartment because he had done something bad. Oh, sounds like all right, we getting low after the situation in the hotel. That's what that sounds like. In addition, China told me, Miss Barton, that Sims stayed up all night watching the news, looking. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like right after shit that went down in the hotel. I'll say this though, people. There's nothing that we just read, and this is put up by Whack 100, who is on Max B's heels, allegedly coming from Pooh Sims, Max's co-defendant. There's nothing I read right here about snitching. You know, what is Wack trying to do? Say call his mother out or something? What it was the caption say? At the real Pooh Sims continues rap paperwork on Max B. Slide left. He has all of a sudden blocked the exposures. So this don't have nothing to do and show me about no ratting. Cause this isn't about Max B. This is about the girl China, his mother getting interviewed, and dude Pooh Sims allegedly staying at his mother Max's mother's crib after the situation went down. All right. All right, yeah. Yo, put it in the chat. Do y'all feel like Max B isn't 100% right? Is he not 100% good? Like, put that in the chat. Or do you feel like, nah, this is all still more of a hoax? People trying to tear him down. Pooh Sims, Whack 100. Or is it, nah, it's we keep seeing a bunch of stuff and things don't look clean. Which one do y'all believe? All right. I'm going to leave it there for now. Better hope that paperwork ain't real.